Right, here we are back in the Minecraft. Let me preface this by saying super sorry about the audio quality of my microphone for the last two videos. Um yeah, that wasn't supposed to sound like that. I don't know entirely why that happened, but I do have a guess, and it's a sort of slightly educated guess as to why that happened, and it has to do with OBS basically hijacking the audio of my AirPods at the same time as Ableton being open. It likes to. I noticed this with Zoom too. It will like force the bit rate of my AirPods to like 19,000, or the sample rate or something like that to 19,000. But Ableton's trying to keep it at 32 or 24,000, 20, whatever it is. And yeah, so that it was like one program was trying to keep it at one and the other program was trying to keep it at a different one, and it got fucked up. So if that isn't the antithesis of what this series is, then I don't know what is. But was not supposed to sound like that, and I apologize. And I wouldn't be surprised if nobody actually watches those two episodes anyways, because I sure should probably wouldn't. Regardless, these videos are more for me than they are for you anyways, so it's my podcast. For all intents and purposes, that's what this is. That can get just thrown off this cliff in the politest way possible. Goodbye, poisonous potato. See you never. I've got no plan for this episode. I really don't. Feel like I should have a plan. That was not what was supposed to happen there, but I don't. I don't think I really ever do. And that's fine. This is one. Oh my god, sorry about that. Ah, that was unpleasant. I really never do have a plan for these. It's more so about what I want to talk about podcast-wise than what I actually do in the game. But what I want to talk about today is, well, love and finding a connection with somebody and building that connection with somebody and fostering a healthy relationship. Good God, those chickens are loud. These ones are gonna be my feather. My, oh God, I knew I was gonna do that. These are my feather chickens. Oh no, oh no. They're gonna escape. Can't have that. That's fine for now. I'm gonna light this area up a little bit. Yeah, I'm kind of in a position where I do and don't want a relationship. Of course, there's a part of me that always wants to be in a relationship. And that part of me is like screaming like, oh my God, do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes to find that perfect partner. And just wants to like, it's not even that it wants to find that perfect partner. It just wants to fill that void with any partner. And regardless of how they actually fit into my life. And that's a dangerous sort of game to play. Where you just kind of try to cram anybody into a void. And it's not really something I want to do. And it's something I've been trying to do for years. And it bit me in the ass once, and if I go down that same path again, more than likely it'll bite me in the ass again. And that's the part of me that doesn't want the relationship, right? There's that part of me that's like, okay, take it slow, figure it out, vet the people that you want to bring into your life. Make sure they meet the standards. Well, actually, one, set the standards, and then ensure they meet the standards. Because I've, spent enough time living to kind of figure out what it is I actually want. And how I actually want to be shown up for. How I want someone to show up for me, But now that I know that, it's difficult. I can't say it's difficult. It's just I'm being impatient, I'd say. It's because I've set fairly high standards because I don't want to be taken advantage of and I don't want to get hurt, and I'm looking for somebody that's has the potential to stick around for a long time and potentially raise children. I'm not looking for quick fixes anymore. I mean, yeah, great. There's a part of my mind that's like, yeah, just go find somebody for sex and, hit it and quit it type shit. No, that's not what I want. I know that's going to be more detrimental to me than it would be beneficial. So I don't even really want to entertain that possibility. I would rather maybe be a little bit I don't want to say bored, I don't want to say needy. I definitely don't want to be desperate, because the fact is I'm not desperate enough to just go fill the void. So I'm not desperate. I would prefer to take some time and really find somebody that's gonna show up in a healthy, mature way. That takes time, and yes, I'm definitely impatient. I want it to happen overnight. I want it to be tomorrow. And there is there's a potential in my life right now that's like, okay, boxes are kind of being checked. I could see this being something more than just what it is. But it's the fact that essentially it's going from strangers to that level of connection and partnership, and I'm trying to shoehorn it, essentially. Like, I want it to happen now. Gotta happen today, tomorrow, or today, tomorrow. You know, it's gotta, like, I gotta go from this 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds type energy. And I'm realizing that that is 100% not the proper approach for this situation. If I want it to be long lasting, then it probably actually has to take a long time to form. But to me, that's scary. Like, I don't want it to take a long time because that introduces so many variables of how it could go wrong and end up hurting me more in the long run. Okay, I do not have enough dirt for this. Maybe I use cobble for the pillar and then just do the top layer as dirt. That probably makes sense too. And I'm also realizing that there's so many people in all of our lives that just will never care. Like, there's billions and billions of people that will never care about you. They will never care at all, ever. Not even for a second. And this person I've met, well, they, you know, just a short time ago, they were somebody that didn't care at all. They didn't even know my name, let alone, like, even think to respond to a text or even have a phone number. So I understand that it's a large ask to go from not caring at all to caring even just a little bit. But we have come to sort of a mutual agreement that at the very least, we both want a friend. Like, we've said that explicitly over our messages that we want a friend. And in my mind, it's fair to, okay, we both want a friend, so I'm going to hold you accountable as a friend. I'm going to ask that you be like a friend. If that's just responding to a text message, that's just responding to a text message. If that's like communicating plans and making plans, then that's what it is. But you can't, it's not indicative of a friendship to say you want to be in a friendship but take no action to actually establish and maintain a friendship. And the reason I say it like that is because of course, you know, I've been left on red. And I'm like, well, I understand that maybe I don't, like, I haven't earned a response yet, or something like that. Like, I'm not that important in one's life to even respond to a text message. But it is, you know, a potentially detrimental habit to even start from the beginning of just not responding or making an effort to show up in a way that a friend would. Act as if you're already friends, and that's how the connection builds. It's the only way it could build is to be friendly with each other. So let me know. Is my frustration like warranted? Because I feel like why should I put in an effort if that effort isn't going to be matched? Which that seems fair to me. Should probably do that on a diamond pick, huh? Yeah, let's make a diamond pick and actually enchant something worthwhile. No, it's not a full level enchantment yet, but it's still a enchantment that could pose useful. Efficiency 4. Fuck yeah, bro. Maybe we don't even use that right now. Maybe we just make another chest and store that for later. And I'm going to put this lapis. I got to make the chest that I was going to put there. I'm going to put that lapis in a chest right there. I'm one to perhaps care too much too quickly. I see little value in like I see little value in I'm gonna enchant these books. I don't know what density 1 does. I see little value in not being one, clear with my intentions, and 2, like I can't get myself. Well, I can, and actually, this whole sort of field of thought brought me to realize that there were actually a lot of people I don't want to say ignoring, but people that had sent me messages that I didn't connect back with, and I was like, okay, well, I actually went and connected back with a lot of them. I don't know why those ended up in there. I thought did I not just put those in the? I'm confused. I did. Okay. Yeah, it could be like something epic there down the road. Really consider like making this just an entrance into something instead of just my bed being here. Like a little tunnel into something. Just that's how we get into the mountain, and it's like this huge, expressive base. It could be cool. Well, I guess what I don't want to say irritates me, but what does irritate me? Why do I do that so much where I say I don't want to say this, but that's actually exactly what I want to say. Like that's the thought that I just had. But what irritates me about this situation is how I notice myself always going from 0 to 100 like quick, you know? Like it could be something as small as like just getting their phone number, and I'm already like, oh, this is it. You know, I have to, you know, this is the one. I just jump from literally just meeting to imagining wedding plans, and it's exceptionally detrimental. I'm noticing to perhaps my mental, wherein I build these grand expectations and then somehow, I don't know, by some stroke of the Lord, always end up getting disappointed. Either in them or in myself or what have you. And like, whoa. Like, calm down there, bro. And the part that irritates me is it's like it's just me that gets that. Not that like there's not other people out there that have the same thing happen to them, but whenever I feel that way about someone else, fucking 9.999 times out of 10, they don't care. They don't even have the slightest inkling of reciprocation. And it's just so frustrating to go through that time and time and time and time and time again. Where every night is like, man, I wish just one person would reciprocate that feeling. And honestly, maybe I actually don't really even want that. Uh-oh. Oh, this ain't good. Call the ambulance. Okay, we're fine. Oh, we're not fine. We're not fine. We're not fine. We are definitely not fine. Okay. Ah. We've got a problem. Houston, we've got a problem. Well, shit. There's freaking chickens everywhere! That was not supposed to happen. I gotta clean up the escapees. But I swear a whole bunch more than just 2 escaped. Where did they all go? Like, definitely more than 2 escaped. Where did they go, though? Perhaps it's time to finally make this into like a pasture. How are we gonna do that? We could just like fence off kind of that area. Or maybe clear a bunch down this way, or maybe clear a bunch down here. was like, I already know this is gonna be a bitch of a tree. What was I on about? Yeah, I just want some level of reciprocation. Specifically from someone that I feel this way about. Like I have connections. I have connection with other people. So it's not like I'm in need of friendship. I would simply like for my like if you say I want a friend and I say cool, yeah, me too, let's make some effort to be friends with each other and not just ghost each other. That's, and you don't get me wrong, like one day may not be considered ghosting to some people, but look, we're always on our phones. Some of the busiest people I know. Okay, that has to be changed. Like literally the busiest person I know right now has like hundreds of messages coming in at any given moment. Yet somehow can still manage to take 5 seconds to read and respond to mine. And it's that if they wanted to, they would vibe. But you can't say you want a friend and then not show up as a friend to someone that says, yeah, let's be friends. Let's connect. Let's build something. Because now you got double meaning. I guess it could be said that I have double meaning too. The way I see it is, yeah, I want a friend because I want a relationship with somebody that I was friends with first. I don't, and maybe I guess I just didn't make that clear enough, but at the moment, it's like I don't even really. I don't want to go from not knowing each other straight into a relationship. So if they say they want a friend, well, yeah, it's true for me to say, yes, I want a friend too. I guess, in essence, I have concealed like the full intention. Perhaps that's where this whole disconnect is stemming from. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. And but at the same time, I'm not wrong in expecting someone to show up as a friend if they say they want a friend. That and there's a part of me that wants to call them out on it, like, hey, like, there's this level of we're not friends yet, but you don't become friends by ghosting each other. Like, that's duh, you know? You say you want a friend, but you ghost the person you say that to. Actions speak louder than words. That kind of says you don't actually want a friend. I don't really buy the excuse of, oh, I'm too busy, my life is super hectic. I don't buy that. Because like I said, the person in my life right now that has literally the most hectic life I've ever seen still somehow manages to take 4 seconds out of their day to send a text message. It's not hard to send a message. It's really not. And it gets easier, especially if you actually intend on making someone your friend. So I have half a mind to like call them out on the behavior and be like, I know we're not friends, but we don't become friends by ignoring each other. And I mean, that is just a good life lesson. Large. You don't build a relationship by ignoring it. Just that's duh, you know. Then I end up like, yeah, I feel like I want to call them out, but then they have this potential crutch to use. Oh, but my life is so hectic right now. You're being too much. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, honestly, is it too much to ask someone who says they want to be a friend to actually just act like a friend? Is that too much? If it is, then this is the wrong individual. So maybe it would be good for me to get that level of clarity. And so what if it annoys them? Honestly, so fucking what if it annoys them? I've spent so long putting myself into this tiny little box of like not showing up the way I would authentically because I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid of being too much for someone. Like, oh, boo-hoo. You found somebody that wants to care about you and you ghost them and they call you out for ghosting them. Like if you get your feelings hurt by being called out for being contradictory to your own words, that's not my problem. That's a them issue. Speaking of sending messages, I just sent a message. Took me 2 seconds and I'm in the middle of something. Yeah, I really shouldn't be sending messages in the middle of this, but no, it wasn't to the person I'm referring to. Maybe I should, though. Like, I don't stand to lose anything from being authentic. Well, I do. I stand to lose them as a person, but is that someone in my life that I want if they don't feel the need to show up in the way that is conducive to building a true and stable, healthy connection? Is that somebody I actually want in my life? I think not. And it's not like I want to test them, because I could already operate off the assumption that they don't care. And it could be that anything I do may never make them care. That could be how it goes. I could never get them to care just because I want them to care. I think I only needed 2, but I'm gonna have 4. Just for wood stuff. I'd probably get away with putting sticks in there and stairs. Just all wood stuff. Not boats. Just wooden things. Stakes, sure. I think it's time to start building a bunch of fences, but I think that's honestly going to do it for this episode, because I've gone past my stopwatch and I'll pick this up, I'll say, in the next one. Thank y'all for watching. Leave a comment. Let me know. Am I crazy? Do I think it's? Is it too much of an expectation to set for somebody that says they are looking for a friend to actually like hold them account to being a friend to somebody? Is that too high of an expectation? Let me know. I don't think it is. I think I'm just being real. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about the last 2 episodes. I know they sounded like shit. Couldn't happen again. And I gotta get my screenshot. That was the wrong button. I gotta get my screenshot. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.